One job. Oh, when God bless you along that way, you have to give thanks and praise. Only Jah. Well, you don't listen to what they say. Jah love is there to stay. Only Jah. Lion Bar, you love Jah, Lion Bar. Aye, because them say seek Jah first and everything come after. Don't get caught. Righteousness we are. Here King Selassie go higher. Yo, black woman, she bring the youth of Babylon, them kill them. Fire, Rasta go bring him pan them. Here King Selassie higher.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and that was the man Fantan Mojah, legendary reggae artist from Jamaica. He recently passed away. I know we just thought we would just highlight Fantan this morning, for all the reggae lovers. That man brought you some big tune. One of my favorite was Mama Hungry. Mama Hungry, do something for the poor. As we on the condolences, we also want to extend condolences to the family, the friends, the associates of Mr. Curtis Gordon. Everybody should know Curtis Gordon. When you think of Carnival Corner, you think of Curtis Gordon. When you think of the leather craft, you think of Curtis Gordon. And my personal experience getting leather goods from him, he would ensure that your sandal or your slipper has a nice cushion. They call it for therapeutic reason. Sometimes according to if you're suffering from any issues with your heels. So he had an extra padding, an extra cushion on his the push to the Jesus slipper, as they would call it. So the family friends of Mr. Curtis Gordon, may you rest in peace. Cool fella, cool gentleman. He also had his security company who would serve the Dominica Calypso Association for a good time, maybe decades. So rest in peace, Mr. Gordon. Likewise, Jamaican superstar Fantan Mojah. So yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, and we are going to be brief today. Yesterday I read a manifesto, and I will read the opening lines again. And it said, "Every family deserves opportunity. I have listened to your concerns. I know the struggles our families face. My commitment is simple: to work every day to create opportunities, improve our communities, and ensure that Roseau North receives the attention and investment it deserves." And I read other components of this mini manifesto or pamphlet that was being distributed, and I so happened to have met the candidate, and I read it out. I read certain aspects of it, and I asked the question, can you, without me identifying who the candidate was, tell me, who do you think is the person who has these messages distributing? The majority of people responded to me privately. I'm not too sure if people are afraid to let their position or their views be known publicly. And one person, I believe, answered on Facebook, well, under the post, not private message. That's my friend Heather, and she shouted Ashma, and several others shouted Ashma. There's one person who suggested Danny. Now, as I said yesterday, I would reveal today who was the candidate that had those messages sharing. And who is it? Is it Miss McDougall, Mr. Luge, or Mr. Boston? Who do you think had that message sharing? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you, it was not Mr. Boston. I've not met him since the campaign has started. I've just been reading his posts. So between the two others, who was it? One of them gave me this pamphlet. And ladies and gentlemen, it is none other than Mr. Danny Lugie. Yeah, that's it. He is the one who stopped me on Cock Street in my usual parking area just below the former Guiave restaurant, and he had his pamphlet distributing, and he gave me one. And I said I would tease my audience to see who they would come up with. But it's interesting that so many people align the message from Mr. Lugie with the DLP candidate. That was very interesting. Very, very interesting. Are you suggesting that this is the message that should be coming from the DLP candidate? I do not know. But you chose Miss McDougall as the person who gave me this. I wish it was, but it wasn't. And if she meets me and she has one, I'll be more than happy to also come out and read what is on her mini manifesto. But it was Mr. Danny Lugie. And before I go, I saw another photo circulating, and it is my right in Dominica to have an opinion on things I see circulating in the country. I am not going to stifle or have my thoughts oppressed. That is not going to happen. It is out there in the public domain. I will share it for my people who may not have seen it, and I may have an opinion. And one of those photos that I saw, or flyers that I saw, is an invitation from the Roseau South parliamentary representative. It's a meet and greet. And what seems to be piquing the curiosity of people is, well, one of the speakers is stated there as the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, and one asked, in accordance with the the Civil Service Act, or whatever it is, the rules and regulation, is that something that is permitted? And if it's not, should others be able to do the same? Other people in other ministries or whatever, can they now go and be part of, let's say, something being organized by the other side, or even that same side? Is there need to really review the public service order? However, there is a terminal for it. The what governs them, the way they operate, the expected behavioral patterns. Is he there in his capacity as, well, it's said PS, so I will have to say he's there in that capacity. I have also gotten messages that prohibits or suggests the prohibition of public servants in active participation in politics. But here we see. So I do not know. Those who know better, they can just chime in and we educate one another. Because we may be thinking one thing and maybe there is another section or subsection that allows such behavior. Okay? But people must be free to have an opinion, whether for or against. You don't come out and lambaste anybody. But if you say something and I can objectively critique, nobody should not try to muzzle me for commenting on something that is in the public domain or having a different opinion. this boy there from Massac will never be muzzled. He will always be respectful, but he will never be muzzled. I just putting it out there. Okay? Have a wonderful day, ladies and gentlemen. Feel free to chime in, give your opinion, whether publicly or privately. However you choose, I respect that. Big up all yourself, alright?
No citrus, no coffee.